throughout North America and has been a featured speaker on more than 2,000 college campuses. Please welcome to the stage, Rick Barnes.
Thank you. It's so good to be back. I remember whenever I was thinking about joining the Greek system. Now, I don't know how it went for you, but for me, this was a very scary proposition. So far, I've shared with you 3 of my stereotypes about Greek life before I ever joined. Here's something about those. I have lately been saying, I don't think they're stereotypes at all. I think we ought to quit using that word. Why do we call our problems stereotypes? See, I'd rather hear us say, you guys are a bunch of alcoholics. I'd rather hear us say, look, don't label us that way, but sure, we've got some alcohol issues and we need to deal with those. You guys haze each other. I don't know if any of your chapters do. I hope not, but somebody out there is doing it. So maybe we ought to say, okay, I understand that's a problem in the world of fraternities and sororities. We're doing something about it. See, if we would quit calling them stereotypes and start calling them facts, I think we would stop long enough to do something about it. Now, here's the positive side to this whole story. Here's something else I learned. Immediately upon joining, I learned this really fast where I went to school, and I've learned it ever since. Here's something else I'll tell you about you. I think you joined the absolute best thing on any college campus out there, because I really think fraternities and sororities are the best thing in existence today. Now, here's the deal. I tell everybody that. I speak on college campuses every night of the week. I have the best job in the world. I travel around the country and I talk to students and talk about lots of issues. And I don't always talk to Greeks. I talk to like student athletes, and I do programs for leadership programs and residence hall groups. And I tell every single one of them, if you want to be a good student, you ought to at least look at the Greek system. First one's this. Now the reality is, let's talk about recruitment for just a minute. Now, I don't care if you call it rush, recruitment, intake, it makes no difference to me. If you hang around Greek life long enough, you'll realize about every 10 years, we change the name of nearly everything we do to somehow fix a problem. So this will change eventually. I don't know what we'll call it next, like friends making friends for a week, it'll be. I think when we talk about recruitment, we need to go to this new model. We need to quit talking about what we do all the time, and we need to start talking about why we are here in the first place. Now, here's why I say that. Here's what we're hearing out of your generation of students coming out of high schools. You're telling us, here's what I want from college. I want a place where I can make good grades. I want a place where I can get out of here as fast as possible because this place is way too expensive for my family. I want to figure out a place where I can become a leader. I want to figure out a place where I can have relationships that will last forever. Now, isn't everything I just said called fraternity and sorority? See, why do we advertise everything but that when we do recruitment? I think we ought to just talk about who we are. Quit talking about what we do all the time. Men's and women's fraternities and sororities. There's a lot of conversation going on about how we should or should not do new member education because for some reason, every now and then, this dirty little H word creeps into it. Now, you know what this dirty little H word is, right? I'm going to do a program later this weekend on hazing, and there's going to be some other people talk about it, and we have to because it's an issue that's just plaguing fraternities and sororities. I'll give you some examples. Have you ever noticed how we expect the new members to show up on time to every single thing that they do or they get in trouble? And yet we start nothing on time, including this program tonight, because we call that Greek time. Have you ever noticed that? Or here's my other one. So we expect them to pay their bills on time, or we might throw them out. And yet I wonder how many chapters in this room right this minute have money owed to you from last school year, and you haven't thrown those members out yet. Or we expect them to act right at the social events, and yet you got members of your junior class that act like absolute goons at your social events, and you don't do anything about that. See, that's very, very confusing to people. Why do we put higher expectations on the new members than we put on ourselves that they go do? I'm not hypocritical about it. I'm going to tell you right up front. I do, in fact, drink alcohol, so you will never, ever hear me tell you not to drink. There are people in here that have to tell you that. I mean, some of your administrators, they have rules they have to enforce. The legal system have laws they have to enforce. But I got you for like an hour. I don't have time to fix you. You know what I mean? So if you want to drink, I guess drink. I guess that's your business. I will ask you to do this, though. Slow down just a little bit. That next group, though, that I think is extra weird. There are people in here that don't even drink. that just raised your hands? Now that takes a special level of stupidity because we see you at the parties. Haven't you ever seen that person at a party that you know damn well they haven't had a drink of alcohol, but they're acting totally drunk anyway? Falling all over the floor, crying, telling jokes that aren't even funny, loving everybody all of a sudden. I'm like, what are you doing? Oh, I'm drunk. I'm like, no, you're not. You just got here, you weirdo. See, I think we got to be careful with that. Here's the thing about alcohol, though. In the world of fraternities and sororities, if there's something we have rules for, it is alcohol. I mean, loads of rules on alcohol. Notebooks of rules on alcohol. Here's the 2 rules. You ready? First one's very, very easy. Hope tonight's not the first time you ever heard this, but did you know in the United States of America, including in the great state of California, you have to be 21 years old to drink alcohol? I know some of you are like, when did they start that? For it. First rule's of drinking age. I don't know what you think about it. It's not our policy. Do something about it if you don't like it. Number 2, though, is even easier. Don't get drunk. Now, I know some of you are like, that's not always against the law. And I know, you're right. But have you ever noticed that our parties are fun until too many people have had too much to drink, and that's when we start having problems? Alcohol is a big issue within our organizations, right? Fair enough? But there's only 2 rules. First rule is you can't drink if you're underage. Deal with that if you don't like it. Go get it changed. The second one is just don't get drunk. Here's my firm belief. If we dealt with that second rule, do you think we would have the first one? Let's have a pretty serious conversation for just a moment. Let's talk about this thing called ritual. Now, here's the deal. I love the fact that we have rituals. Because what I know about our ritual is that that's what makes us who we are. Now, I don't know if you stop and think about your ritual very often. I don't know if you've actually read the ritual. Not done it, read it. Figure out what's in those words. Here's the problem with them sometimes. They're secret. Sometimes I think we keep them too secret. Sometimes I think we keep them so secret that some of our own members don't even know what's in there. But at the end of all of these different rituals and all the different ways of doing it, what do you have other than just a bunch of brothers and sisters? See, when we get together in a room like this, realizing that we're all from different schools, different organizations, we're just a bunch of brothers and sisters in the name of Greek life. Because we've all been through those rituals. That's what's beautiful about being a member of an organization like ours. Cool. I mean, to realize that our founders sat down at some point in your history and started this crazy thing called Greek life. They started your organization to be its special organization based upon its special way of doing things through its own ritual. But over time, the fact that they did what they did gives us this opportunity tonight to be here together to celebrate Greek life. My challenge to you is, while you're celebrating, take care of it at the same time. Hold on to your Greek system. Offer it a little leadership. Make sure it's fun, but make sure it's there for that next generation. I really think that was the intent from our founders. They started these phenomenal organizations, and the intent was that they would always be in place so we would have opportunities like we have right this minute. I'm ready for us to start celebrating Greek life. I'm tired of us apologizing for being Greek. I'm ready for us to hold our heads a little higher and be proud of being members and represent all that's good in Greek life. Thank you very much for giving me some time tonight.
Another round of applause for Rick Barnes, please.